Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. We are out here picking blueberries. Here's Katie over there. Hey Katie. We're picking blueberries at my friend's house, and I have a few in the bucket here, but what I want to do is share a recipe with you for some cookies that literally have 4 ingredients in them. They are not super sweet, but it's something that's kind of a grab and go that you could have for breakfast. They're super easy to make, and you probably have the ingredients at your house. I don't know, we'll see, but 4 ingredients, how hard can that be? So go with us as we make some blueberry breakfast cookies, and we're gonna keep picking these. Hopefully I'll get my bucket full. I don't have that many, but we just got here.
We're working on it.
Yep, okay, we'll be back in the kitchen in a minute. Okay, I just want y'all to see this blueberry bush. Now the fun thing about picking blueberries is there's no stickers on them. That's what I enjoy. I grew up picking blackberries and that was torturous. But when you pick blueberries, you just grab the ones that are dark and they just fall off into your hands. And this thing is loaded. We've already picked one bush and now we're working on this one. There's just so many there. So aren't these so pretty? And there's my bucket, and it's pretty full. So we do love some blueberries. Okay, just wanted you to get a look at the blueberry bush. Okay, we're back in the kitchen. This is the next day, so that was Tuesday evening. Y'all, the weather was so perfect. I have picked blackberries in the rain. I have picked blackberries in 110-degree temperatures with the sun shining straight on me. But last night, that was like something in a dream. There were no mosquitoes. The weather was perfect. There were clouds overcast, and it was divine. And it's funny because my friend's neighbors that live kind of, you can't see their house for the woods, but we could hear this music. So it was this Mexican music coming from this house over there. We were kind of laughing at first going, oh, I feel like I need to order some nachos. But we started getting to where we were liking the music so much. I was like, this is so relaxing. So that was such a fun night. Here again is our bucket of blueberries. I came home and just stuck these in the fridge to keep them chilled until we could make our cookies this morning. So I had overripe bananas. I'll show you what these look like. Now, when I say overripe bananas, I don't mean like there's not any more green on the end of them where you get super green bananas. I'm talking about the ones that either have brown specks all over them or they're completely brown on the outside of the peel. So I normally, when those get to that point, they are perfect for desserts, and I put them in my freezer. So when I first got up this morning, I took these 2 bananas out, and you can see they're floppy. I took them out and put them in here so they could thaw. But you're just going to take and mash 2 regular-sized bananas up. And I'm using a clear bowl just so you can kind of sort of see what I'm doing. All right, to that, we are going to add a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And my peanut butter is not salted, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt to mine. But this is organic. You do not have to have organic, but I will say this recipe works if you use the natural kind of peanut butter that does not have sugar in it. And I know some of you are saying, wait, they make peanut butter without sugar? Or some of you might be saying, wait, there's sugar in peanut butter? I'm telling you, regular peanut butter spread that you use for, like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or whatever you use at your house, that has so much sugar in it that once you use the peanut butter that doesn't have sugar in it, you're going to go, good lands, this tastes like a peanut instead of a peanut butter cookie. But it's just one of those things. Your taste buds get used to it and you don't realize how much sugar you're consuming. But I'm telling you, there's so much sugar in regular peanut butter. So look for a kind that you feel comfortable buying because they are a little more expensive when you go with organic and the ones that don't have sugar in it. This is the kind that I buy. Let me give you a good look at this. This comes from Trader Joe's, and I cannot say enough good things about the flavor of this. It's made with Valencia peanuts, but this one doesn't have salt in it, but they have the ones that do have salt, and then they have the crunchy version too. So just use whatever you like, but I'm almost out of this in this jar. Never mind, there's like 15 more jars in the pantry waiting on us because we go through a lot of peanut butter. But So you have 2 bananas, you have a half cup of unsweetened, no sugar in this, peanut butter. Just going to stir this together. Now I will say, if you've never used the no sugar peanut butter, when you first open it up, you're going to go, there's a bunch of oil in this. Well, there would be in all peanut butter, but the commercially processed ones that are really popular, you know, the ones that choosy mothers choose and all that, those have special chemicals in it that keep it emulsified so you don't have the oil to settle anywhere on the top. But again, this is just, well, I'll read you the ingredients. Organic Valencia peanuts. That's it. Just peanuts. It doesn't have extra anything in it. So you're going to have to stir it. And I know it sounds frustrating, but once you start eating this stuff, you'll go, why would I ever eat anything else? It's kind of crazy. Okay, again, mine didn't have salt in it, so I'm just going to add just a couple of pinches of salt to this. This is our next ingredient. These are just rolled oats, and I buy them in bulk at natural grocers. I think they have natural grocers in most states. I'm just not sure where all they are, but we have one. We have a couple of them not too far from us, and we love that store. Okay, 2 cups of rolled oats. These are not quick oats. I don't know what this would turn out like. If you use quick oats, you're welcome to try it. Let me know how it turns out. But 2 level cups of rolled oats. This is gluten-free. This is dairy-free. This is sugar-free, processed sugar-free. So the sugar in the bananas, and the blueberries, that's what makes this sweet. But you don't have any real sugar in there. So not grain-free technically because it has oats in it, but this is surprisingly good for being so few ingredients. And my husband, the blueberry hater, he hates blueberries. When I mention blueberries, he just kind of winces. He actually tried one of these the other day. I made a test batch, only made half a recipe because I didn't want to ruin all the ingredients if it wasn't any good. So he came in from the gym on his way to work to drop some stuff off, and I just mentioned, there's those cookies in there. I called them cookies, so that was a draw right there for him. I said, there's cookies in there. He said, what do they have in them? And I told him what they had in them, and he kind of had this look on his face like, really? Why'd you have to ruin it with the blueberries? And I said, they're really good. I tried one after I baked them, and I think you might like them. They're pretty substantial, so it would be a good breakfast. Just take one with you. You can eat it going down the road. So he gets a zip-top bag, puts one in there, and he leaves. And it was not 15 minutes later on. He called me. He had pulled over and called me and said, that actually was very good. He said, thank you for making that. Thank you for telling me that they were in the refrigerator. And you don't have to keep them in the refrigerator, but I just didn't know how long I'd had these before they got all eaten. And I didn't want them to go bad because there's a lot of moisture in them from the blueberries. So anyway, he said, that was actually very good. I enjoyed that. So, shock. All right, so here's what we're going to do with the blueberries. I say this is going to take a half a cup plus blueberries. So what I did yesterday, I don't want to get any stems on these. I'm kind of picky about my stems on stuff. We're going to take and put some blueberries in this, and then I'm going to add more to the top. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this. So some to get mixed in. I don't know why I grabbed a cup. I don't measure anything with a cup. Especially blueberries when I'm just adding what I want. Okay, so this is what this looks like. That's pretty substantial right there as far as the thickness. So it's not a runny cake batter. This is a good thick dough. And the longer it sits like this, the more the oats are going to soak up the moisture from the bananas. So I'm sure you could make this up ahead of time and just plop them out on a pan. These don't take long to cook. The recipe, the original recipe that I read, which calls for fewer blueberries than I'm using, it said to cook these for 12 minutes. Well, at 12 minutes, mine didn't really look like they could hold up to holding them, and they look kind of floppy, so I just cook them an extra 5 minutes. So we're going to say to cook these for 18 minutes at 350 degrees. My oven has preheated. I just heard the buzzer go off. Notice I have my pans lined with parchment. This is parchment I used the other day when I baked these, so you can see all the blueberry juice in there. And each of these pans will hold 6 of these cookies nicely. These are pretty big. These are not small cookies, but you could make them into tiny bites if you have toddlers or somebody that just requires little snacky things. These would be kind of fun for kids because they're not super sweet, but if you call them a cookie, I promise they will not notice. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, I don't really like blueberries, but I'll put some chocolate chips in there. Well, now you've added sugar to it, so just know you're not breaking any laws or anything by adding chocolate chips, but chocolate chips will have sugar unless you make your chocolate chips from scratch out of honey, and it can be done. I think you can see the top of Zoe's head right there. She's watching me. Every move I make. I swear if she were any taller and had hands, I could probably teach her to cook. She is so attentive. Now, my other doggie, Lacey, she's over there laying on the coolaroo, and she does not give a flying flip about anything that goes on in here. Normally when I turn the microphone on and I start talking, I think she kind of thinks I'm losing my mind and I'm talking to an invisible person, or obviously there's nobody here. She leaves the room. She doesn't want to have any part of it. But Zoe is very interested in what's going on. I'm having to do this in the morning. It's not super early. It's 9:08 right now, but it's supposed to get up over 100 degrees today, so I'm trying to get these done because I do not want to turn on my oven when it's 100 degrees. That's just against the rules around here. If I turn any oven on, it's the one out in the sunroom. It's my little convection oven out there where I reheat things. Sometimes I baked bread in there the other day, but I do not like turning the oven on in the house. But I do what I can. Okay, I'm going to get as much of this out of here as I can, which isn't much left. This cleans up pretty nicely. All right, so set this aside, and we're going to add a few blueberries to the top of it. And at this point, I can kind of push them down on there. I think I added 3 to each of my cookies the other day, so we'll try that again. I just love the look of blueberries, that like frosted dark color. I think they're so beautiful. Like I said in the video earlier showing you the blueberries on the bush, I did not grow up anywhere near blueberries. I thought they grew in a different country. Seriously, country girl here. We grew up picking blackberries and strawberries. I knew exactly what those looked like, and Blackberries were painful, but I loved them so much it was worth climbing in the bushes and every once in a while encountering a snake. And hot, oh my word, it was so hot when they got ripe. It was usually about the week of the 4th of July. They'd get ripe and we'd go pick blackberries, but man, it was so hot. But again, I loved them so much it was worth it. I love me some berries. But when I discovered blueberries didn't have stickers on them, I am all over the blueberries. So good. Okay, we're going to pop these in the oven. Oh, let me give you a look at them so you see what I've done. All right, going to set the timer for 18 minutes. And we'll be back. I should have been setting these out already, but I got sidetracked doing something else. But it did give us time to wash our dishes. Okay, here's what our cookies look like. They look like little bird nests almost. Now you can take these and slam them on the countertop, and sometimes they'll flatten out a little bit. Mine just knocked a blueberry off. Get back on there. Okay, all right, so this is what our cookies look like. And these are going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 breakfasts for my husband, unless I eat one too. So I hope you've enjoyed these. These would be a great snack for the kids for summertime, especially because they can help you mix them up. There's very few ingredients, not a whole lot of room to make a big mess, and very few dishes to wash, but then they can try these. Hopefully they'll get hooked on things that aren't so loaded with sugar. Breakfast cereals are touted as the healthy breakfast. It says it all over the label. Trust me, folks, that is not healthy. I grew up on that, and looking back, I'm thinking, how could we think that so much sugar was healthy? But for some reason we did. And we complain now about, this joint hurts, that hurts in my body. And more than likely it's due to inflammation from just all that sugar that we've gotten used to. But get off the sugar and I promise you, you'll feel better. Take my word for it. Don't even call me and give me credit for it. Just run with it and tell other people about it. But we hope you enjoy these gluten-free and sugar-free cookies with only 4 ingredients, plus a little bit of salt if your peanut butter didn't have salt in it. But we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Have a good day, guys. Stay cool.